5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban. Radiant team ban. OG's turn to ban. Radiant team ban. OG's turn to ban.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Here we are, game number 2 now of the best of 3 series. OG versus Double Dimension. OG currently up 1 game to nothing. This is the MDL European coverage quarterfinal matchup here. Winner of this moves on to play Kingwin later on today. I'm Breaky CPK, joined by Rhyme Dota once again, and just about into our first pick here. But OG overall, a solid with that whole Luna and making it work. This time around, will they have a similar opening? I mean, something tells me Sand King at the very least will be picked. That hero seems like he's literally picked every game.
Yeah, he's so versatile, and he's generally good to pick in the first phase because he's an offlaner and he's a support. So, and he's just generally strong in lanes, and he discourages certain picks around. But I'm waiting to see if there's going to be a Tusk or something similar to that, because neither of these teams is going to allow for like the first pick gyrocopters into like the VP style drafts that you see every now and again.
So they banned Brewmaster, but it's honestly, if I'm OG, it's almost like, do they pick up Tusk here with the first pick? Because Jerix is clearly feeling really good right now on the hero, and just to make sure Double Dimension doesn't get it from themselves. Oh, you know what? Okay, he's also known for playing a pretty good Earth Spirit.
Yeah, I haven't been seeing this hero too often recently, though. Nice to see it again. I like watching it. I don't really play it myself, so it's always nice to see someone do well with it. And that is just the... Oh, second pick. Okay.
Up here.
So, Omni Razor, well, you can see why they would do it, because you pick Omni Knight, and then people counterpick you with Razor, and then Omni Knight has a sad game. So if you pick the two of them together, then surely that doesn't really happen. But then there are some heroes which have good matchups against both of them. And Terrorblade, he does very, very well versus Razor, and he does okay versus Omni Knight, so he's a pretty safe pick. I still think the fact that you could pick Terrorblade second and still have it be completely fine is slightly redonkulous, but I think the hero still needs to be toned a bit, but that's it. But you'll see Visage bans coming out from Double Dimension, and Tinker and Odie bans coming out from OG, so lots of counters to this Terrorblade already being removed.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, the Rubik ban on the side of Double Dimension, of course, understandable. That's what I thought when I saw the snap pick from OG. I was like, oh, it's going to be a Rubik here, right? You know, again, you have your natural counters. You mentioned Razor, that was picked. Brewmaster's banned. I'm just going to go Rubik. No, they go Terrorblade, though. But as you also pointed out, I mean, as a core hero, he's one of the safer options. Get in already so understandable. So Rubik does get banned, but he's fine with that. Support. Dimension, they also need their support still. They need both of them even. Value.
So there's plenty of stuff you can get. Like Razor Omni kind of shores up your lanes for a bit, so it lets you be a bit more flexible. So you don't really have to pick like the lane dominant supports. You can be slightly more lenient. So in terms of dealing with Terrorblade, there's not really that many supports that really do amazing. What are we looking at here? We have the Sand King coming out, so who could have seen that coming? Alright.
What about like a Winter Wyvern?
Wyvern is nice versus Terrorblade. It allows you to save and also allows you to kind of use solutions against them. But Wyvern is also quite a slow hero and has trouble getting involved in the game, because it just kind of, you need like the ideal situation for Wyvern to be good. Also, it's like Wyvern isn't the most amazing hero to like kind of go ganking with as well. You kind of need to already be in place to have the most impact in early game team fights. Like the gank is happening in your mid lane, then you drop the W on the creeps, and then the enemy team gets slowed, then you queue a whole bunch of people, and then they can't really move anywhere, and then your your counter gank kind of works out, but he's not the greatest smoke ganker in the world. But yeah, Disruptor picked up, so you can glimpse illusions, you can glimpse Terrorblade out, you can also silence him to stop the Sunder.
Warlock, though, we talked about that for a second. OG. Third pick the Warlock, not your board hero, but of course brings that chaotic offering and scary ability to fight against, but Fatal Bonds, Upheaval, I mean, this whole skill set, it's pretty strong as well, so Warlock pick.
Yeah, the Warlock is really nice against this kind of look, because Warlock... Alright, this lineup is... I've seen Warlock Death Prophet drafts before, but it hasn't been from OG. No, not for a while anyway. But the idea is essentially is, okay, Death Prophet and Terrorblade have set up shop outside of your base. What are you going to do? You're going to go on them, right? You go in with that Sanking Stun, you go in with that Razor. You've got your repels going. You think that the teamfight's going to be great because you got your initiation. Warlock comes down, drops the rock, Warlock, the reflection goes out, and you're all just suddenly stunned, slowed by Upheaval, and Death Prophet ult is killing everyone. So... well, that's how OG would like it to go, but let's see if Double Dimension can find some other way. Both teams looking for their last bans.
You got, what, probably a mid-hero ban from OG.
OG's turn to ban.
As, you know, I was going to say Puck for OG, it would actually be pretty good here. Mine. Way. Probably.
I'm not going to allow that to happen.
They
It's so hard to pick. Last ban... any hero that particularly stands out, it's going to be...
Queen of Pain?
It's probably going to be a mid-hero because Razor doesn't have amazing matchups. I mean, you could put him versus the Death Prophet, but... Queen of Pain, maybe. I was thinking of Excalibur heroes, because I don't really think Excalibur's going to be playing the Razor. So... Shadow Fiend is up there. Shadow Fiend doesn't really match up well versus Terrorblade, and he's not that great for Zerspirit, but he does lane very well versus Death Prophet. Other heroes... that Excalibur plays, he plays Invoker, which is relatively decent-ish here, but it's also very slow, so it could kind of fall behind too quickly. And the other heroes... oh, there is still Morphling in there, which they could fit in, and have the ERL play the Morphling, and then have Excalibur play the Razor mid and just kind of make a bit of space, because Morphling does quite well versus Death Prophet and versus Terrorblade. Haven't really been seeing too much of him recently.
Yeah, Morphling's one of those interesting here. Every time that's brought up, it's the idea, it's like, yes, on paper could potentially be good, but again, how comfortable is whoever would playing it lately? But again, the hero has changed, obviously, a bit. One that you definitely want a little bit of practice on.
Yes, now it's like, ever since they changed the morph, so it used to be that you could just get stunned and you'd be like, oh no, I've been stunned, I'm now just going to press my morph button and go to 2000 health. You can't do that anymore, you just kind of have to know it's coming. So, unless you have a certain amount of prescience, then you can die rather easily on Morphling. And the last pick, Clockwork, to round out this lineup. That's going to be S4 playing that. Doesn't lane too well versus the Razor, but it kind of gets a lot... well, Clockwork is the kind of hero where you can guarantee that he'll get something no matter what the lane is.
10 seconds remaining.
Lycan is an interesting ban to me, because honestly, against OG's lineup, it doesn't feel like Lycan would have been, like, the greatest.
Yeah, I mean, there is the fact that, like, his ulti doesn't get affected by Upheaval whatsoever. He doesn't really care about Warlock that much. He comes online before this kind of OG death pool starts going. So if he gets pretty farmed, he gets his Necro Book, then he can just start running down towers, and there's not really much OG can do about it. But yeah, I would think that Terrorblade and Spirit would be enough to discourage the Lycan pick anyway. And I'm just really curious to see where Double Dimension go from here, because they need to find some hero to take advantage of the space that this Sand King and Omni will give him. And I don't think Razor is just enough. What is it?
It's going to be a Skywrath Mage. We're going way off the charts here.
Well, it could be. I mean, Skywrath does well versus Terrorblade, and that's about it, but... I mean, there's always, like, the last pick, Broodmother. Well, that's not a Broodmother, but I'm really hoping it was going to be Broodmother, because honestly, I think Brood's a bit better than Lone Druid here.
Ra will play the Lone Druid. It's going to be Excalibur on his Razor, actually.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like an Excalibur here to me. I would have thought that they would swap. I thought that Ra would play the Razor and Excalibur would play the Lone Druid, because Excalibur's the kind of player, like, when you're in a pub against him, you know he's going to pick, like, OD, Lone Druid, like one of these heroes, like Shadow Fiend, something like that. He has not the largest hero pool, but he's very good at what he plays. And Lone Druid is one of those heroes, but I think it's just going to be the Razor middle against the Death Prophet, so that's why they're doing this.
On the other side, you have No-Tell. He's has history playing a lot of different heroes, but recently, Terrorblade is on that top tier list. Of course, going to be playing, and I love that.
Man, that set is really nice, actually. He's got like the extra cosmetics as well, like the nice wings and stuff. I've only got like the basic, the blue Arcana or whatever, so I feel kind of like a bit of a pleb when I play my Terrorblade, but I see Terrorblades like this and I just like, oh.
I will say the green glow doesn't really work anymore. I mean, because the whole logo, you know, blue and stuff.
Yeah, it's all blue and yeah, it's not really quite fitting anymore, but I'm sure they'll live with it somehow.
Alright, so Lone Druid final pick, we talked about that again. So, yeah, well, what of the Lone? So we mentioned who's playing what, but Lone Druid final pick, does it feel right here, you think, for Double Dimension? It feels like it could work pretty well.
I honestly think that they should have picked something that could, like, do something a bit earlier. Like, Lone Druid does well on the lane, I think, and that's what they really want here. I think Double Dimension just want to get ahead quite quickly. They have Razor and Lone Druid as their lanes, which means that they really want to win those lanes. And that's what Lone Druid offers. Like, they have a bit of a timing, but they need to be careful to actually hit it. That you can see, like, when Lone Druid maybe... Oh, okay, I think he might just be going ranged build, because bear build is fairly weak in this situation.
Yeah, that's always fun to talk about, and for a while now we've been in that idea that it's just going to be bear build always, but there was one of the majors recently did see actually the ranged Lone Druid. Something that's worth discussing.
There was a period of time when the ranged Lone Druid was completely absurd, but now it's been toned down to reasonable standards. And he's going to be going for the Aquila, so I think the Aquila indicates it's probably going to be ranged Lone Druid because it's like similar to the way Sniper does well versus Terrorblade, because you just outrange him and you don't really have to worry about getting reflected and murdered. Lone Druid can do a similar thing. Also, the Fear is quite nice versus the Illusions. And he needs to be really careful not to die here.
Yeah, that's easier said than done right now, as the Battery Assault's going to start connecting, and he is in a lot of trouble. Or Venom Auto attacks coming out from Earth Spirit. He has the bear nearby. He's got the one bounty rune. He's going to get both bounty rune. Nope, never mind.
Oh, no, not quite.
He dies before. That's first blood.
Level 1 repel. Really?
Oh, wow. Yeah,
that doesn't seem like the play.
He is going to pull the creep wave, and will be successful with that, but yeah, level 1 repel to remove the Shadow Word, I guess.
I mean, I can sort of see it.
Yeah.
But why not just have Purification? I mean, level 1 Shadow Word does what? 15 damage times 12? It's not... It's like 180 damage, and reduced as 145, so... You've just used Purification to spare yourself that 135, sorry, yeah, you spare yourself 45 damage.
But repels 50 mana compared to 85 mana.
Yeah, I am not sold on that. Okay, that's the Courier being sniped.
Jarek's meanwhile just doing Jarek's things. For your middle lane, so... Yeah, this top lane, though, it's an interesting one. Sand King's up here against Terrorblade. You have Omni versus Warlock. This is not your typical lane setup.
Yeah, this is...
Do that.
Kind of odd. The whole creep pool thing has made playing safe lane so strange now. You don't know what's really worth it. You try and work out what the optimal play is, because like, if they pull the wave but they don't actually like take it to behind their tower, then all you do is you just kind of walk around and drag the waves a bit and double wave yourself. And if they actually take 2 waves behind the tower and they just run around for an extra long time, then sometimes you just have to, and then you have to drag the wave somewhere. It's hard to keep track of. It's just all a mess, really.
Sand King, he's being very patient here. He's going to start running in middle lane, but Matt, he knows something's up. I don't know if maybe this way over here saw him rotating it. You can tell with his positioning, he was playing it very safe. He's going to be linked up here. Not really overly concerned about that. He just walks it off. So sure, he's not having the greatest start, but they're spending resources here in the middle lane.
Jarek's move bottom didn't really work out, but I guess he's okay with it. He's still going to get some bounties. But dying there is not really ideal, especially not from Lone Druid, because honestly, this bot lane started off really well for OG.
No-Tell's dead. That was a Pearl Strike into a Purification level 1, actually. I thought he hit level 2. He just hit level 3. But yeah, enough damage. Notel was living life on the edge. He was in that Metamorphosis form, and he did not expect Sand King to be there, clearly.
Yeah, losing that fight when you use Meta is really kind of painful, because Metamorphosis effectively gives you a free lane for like 40 seconds, because you just can't really be out-damaged, you get every CS, but dying during it is... it's not ideal. The Iran's getting ran up by Jarex again. This dual lane bot is really putting some pressure on him, but he's not really suffering that much. He's behind on CS compared to the Clockwork, but it's not so bad.
Not going to connect. But you mentioned the Clockwork 13 and 5. He's feeling pretty good as S4. But yeah, back to the top lane, Terrorblade. He's 8 and 2 right now on CS, but 11 and 5 Omni-9. Of course, Noto also has that death, and you mentioned the Metamorphosis, essentially half of it wasted because of the death. So yeah, not a great start actually, which doesn't happen often. It feels usually very heavy prioritized to make sure he's here. Sometimes, yeah, I was having a discussion the other day with my co-caster where Terrorblades, when is picked up, you can see him going like an aggressive lane from the beginning and using that early meta for him to take advantage and push in the aggressive lane. In hindsight, should they have maybe looked to do something like that here, or was this fine?
I mean, I think this is fine. Like, they expected the Warlock to kind of ensure this lane and make sure the Terrorblade got farm, and I think if he didn't... Oh, is he gonna die here? They have mana just about on the Omni Knight.
Caustic finales, man. Purification, yeah. Well played by Milan right there as well. He's spreading around the Caustic and the massive slow on Terrorblade. And this is that Warlock support as well, honestly. What can he do? Other than apply Shadow Word and hope for the best.
Yeah, it's the kind of lane where Warlock, like, if the lane doesn't go that badly and, like, they're kind of even on levels, Warlock is really nice because he keeps Terrorblade up, means you can't get him low. But once you kill him once the Terrorblade dies a few times, then you start getting a level advantage and the Shadow Word doesn't really become that much of a factor anymore. And as for the Terrorblade going aggressive, I think the reason they would have done it would be to secure his farm in this game. I think they thought that this lane would go much better than it did. Because honestly, Clockwork is doing fine though.
He is going to be fine as he walks it up, but Mad might not be fine. Glimpse back into a Burrow Strike, the Siphon wearing off, and that's a dead Death Prophet. That started with him initiating onto Razor, actually. Again, Jarex was a little funky with it, and the response was there for Double Dimension. So it's 4-1 now. And that was a first blood at the beginning for OG. It's 4-0 since. Lane's going very well for this Radiant side.
Yeah, if you look at the last hits, you see it's Clockwork is sitting dead even with the Razor. But it's kind of Clockwork against the world now, and he's laning against a level 5 Lone Druid, so he's getting a bit of trouble here. It's rooted straight away, as is the case. Every single time, without fail.
Happening. But,
oh, Mad is really suffering here. Level 4 at 5 minutes. This lane has punished him.
Yeah, no, Mad's, like I said, Disruptor was here from the very beginning, too, and really zoning him out constantly. So, yeah, clearly a difficult time. Now, with that death back to the top lane. Metamorphosis 4 going to be activated once again there. It's Jeraxel stunning up. The Omni Knight puts on the Repel. That's not going to stop all that physical damage, however. They do finish the job, so that's got to feel good for OG as far as making a kill happen.
Yeah, it would have been ideal if Terrorblade got the kill, but he's still sitting a bit behind right now. Oh, Fly is just... What is happening here?
Well, the Bounty Rune battle is what's happening. And Milan ends up picking it up. Jerks is probably dead. He's got a Boulder Smash pushback. Rolling 2. Oh, nope, the kinetic field, and there's the Burrow Strike to finish the job. Terrorblade's running in, but obviously too late. Hide in that sandstorm for the time being. Notel, he wants to kill him, actually. Oh, runs out of Metamorphosis, and now he's in a bad spot. Purification going to be coming out as well. Notel running. The Shadow Word is applied. Not the burst heal, though. He pops a 1 for the burst. It's not enough, however. They do kill Sand King, but that's not what you're looking for if you're OG as far as the trade goes.
Bot lane, that Ura's getting ran out. Okay, S4 is coming around looking for the hook, but he's blocking it with the bear so far. Now the neutral camp is blocking it. He's got a line open for it now. There we go.
S4 is going to be a big factor here for OG as far as coming back from this early deficit.
Well, he damn has to be. He's like he's the one that's basically had the lane. He got the first blood. He got the 1v1 versus the Lone Druid, which somehow he's managed to pull out very decent CS in. But the thing is now, it's like your most farmed hero now has to be the one to make all the moves. So if these moves don't work out, then it really starts to stack up in terms of the cost, you know? Because his time is worth so much more than everyone else's at this point. Oh, Milan.
lane.
Or the first hit route, obviously. And he's just dead.
Not much you can do once again. Clockwork the Cox is not going to necessarily help in battle with the bear a little bit, but yeah, Lone Druid making his way to the top lane, and as you mentioned, a little bit of RNG in his favor, but essentially rotating in after that death and making the best of it. So this Terrorblade, he has 4 deaths at not even 8 minutes into the game. But No-Tail playing it. This, what does he rotate somewhere? I mean, what do they do to adjust to this? Because clearly the top lane is basically a lost cause, it feels like.
Yeah, his life story so far has been, I go top, I've been killed by the Sand and Omni Knight, I've been killed by the Sand Omni Knight, I've been killed by the Sand Omni Knight and Razor, and now I've been killed by the Lone Druid, Sand and Omni Knight. And it's like, there's just a long list of heroes that just keep walking in, you know, it's like one of those comedy sketches where everyone just kind of takes a punch. But he just needs some space, he's going to farm jungle with his illusions, he's going to be getting something out of bot lane if he can. Anytime he can really get net worth anyway, he's going to do his best to do so. Oh, there's an ulti coming out from Mad, but Excalibur TP's out. That is so painful.
Clutch decision on his part. The Boulder Smash was used to push him back, so he knew he had freedom right after the TP. And if it wasn't for that split-second TP, he was going to die. Fly at the top lane, meanwhile, he's going to barely survive because S4 with the hook shot, not enough in the long run, though. The Entangle comes out on a Clockwork after the fact, but he is a little bit beefier. He has that wand, he has power treads even. So S4 will be fine himself, but yeah, not only missing an opportunity, but then almost dying one on the top lane. They're trying to finish off Lone Druid, that Savage War pushback though, and now Milan stunning in as Omni Knight's going to charge in himself. 4 seconds left on the Purification, level 3. As Jerax and S4 are still hunting. Fly is also here, but they got to be careful about the turn. There's a Burrow Strike into the Purification. Heal S4 is a little too beefy though, with the Shadow Word, healing him up enough. And he will stay alive for the time being. The bear's coming back. The resurrected bear, but they pick off Ditnira on the backlands. That's Mad cutting him off, actually. Didn't even notice that at the tower.
OG bringing just a few more heroes to these engagements, and No-Tail, he's used this matter, he got the mid tower, and now actually looking at the net worth. He's starting to climb back up there. He's now ahead of the Omni Knight again. So if he's given farm bot lane, he'll come back up given time. That's all he really needs. He just needs some time. So it's up to OG to make fights happen with the 4 heroes that they have available in these battles.
Is there an item that, does he maybe go for like those drums to recover in this from this early start, or does it kind of still go as usual build, the Yasha, Manta, etc.?
Honestly, I'm still a fan of just going the Dragon Lance into Yasha on Terrorblade. I don't really like the drum. I don't think it gives you that much for the cost, and I don't think Terrorblade needs the mana regen or the movement speed. So I would go the Dragon Lance myself, but he's not even there yet. He needs to finish his Aquila first. And once he gets that, he can think about... Like, if you want to go the Yasha, if you're really just farming woods and farming lanes and stuff and not fighting, he'll probably want to tank up so he can join fights with his meta.
That Glimpse. This Disruptor is such a good hero, man. It goes without saying, I know, but that Glimpse ability, every time you think like, oh no, he's fine, wait a second, no, they have a Glimpse. Brought right back in.
It really subverts your perception of whether you're safe or not on Disruptor, you know, it's just like...
Yeah.
It always gives you that extra pick, that one extra kill you don't expect. And S4 is on the run, but now he's got his cog, so he should be fine. Warlock TPing in quite bravely, but he has ulti, but he's not going to use it. But now he's going to use it.
He's going to use it now, not just yet, waiting on his Sand King. Meanwhile, stunts in on Air Spirit. Where is it? The counter comes up, but it missed J4. However, the Fatal Bond's helping to finish him off. They also catch the Sand King still. Very patient there from Fly. Ultimately helps to get 2 kills. Mad at the top lane, meanwhile. Exorcism is activated, and he is pushing the top tower as well as Omni, but he has to be careful.
No-Tail's going for a solo kill on Ditnira.
To happen. Bottom lane, you mentioned Ditnira. 1 auto attack. The Savage Roar will keep him alive barely.
Keep play with the haste rune. And now top lane. Okay, there's a Death Prophet ulti. Omni Knight's going to go down, but Excalibur's going to just about escape. Oh, he's getting baited into fighting.
Good rotation with that Chaotic Offering as well. It's one of those. It's so good for the initial use, but it's after the fact as well. You gotta respect the damage that it can put out and just use it as that zoning tool, even a farming tool of sorts for assist for more at the top lane. I feel like we'll see, like, obviously not at the top tier level, but at least in my pubs, which isn't saying much, you'll see a Warlock, you know, use it and then he just kind of AFKs with it or sends it down a lane. It's like, no, you can actively control it. Do more with it.
Put it to great effect. It can farm, it can fight, it can hit towers, it can sit around waiting for instructions. It's a very friendly thing, the Golem. It's nice. You use ulti, you win a team fight, and it gives you a friend.
Ryan, this game has changed. So now
Yeah, this game
4,000
is
never played for OG.
gone rather out of control because, like, but I don't know, this Omni is just kind of fallen off, you know? He was that dominating force in the lane with the Sanking Omni Knight. That combo killed Terrorblade over and over again, but when the levels got there on OG and Death Prophet started joining these fights, it's just... I don't think they've really been able to use this Omni Knight as well as they thought they would be. And now Razor's here, he's sitting near top of the net worth, so they've still got some hope, and Lone Druid, he has fallen behind. He's got 3 deaths, so his game hasn't really worked out so far, but I'm just worried now, because Terrorblade's just free farming. He's on the other side of the map, he's going for the Yasha first, so he's going for that farming build.
Yeah, the fact that he's higher than anyone on the Radiant side other than the Razor, and he's just about tied with Razor, is pretty crazy, because, again, 4 deaths early on in this game, they completely locked him down. And we're only 13.5 minutes in, and he's just about recovered. So.
Oh, Jarex might get caught here. Oh, he is. He's dead.
Timing with the Burrow Strike, and Jarex, that's a free kill, so... I mentioned they'll take that, transition nicely into the top tier 1 tower.
You can see the problem here, can't you? It's 4 heroes sitting in the top lane to take a tower, whereas there's everyone farming on OG, and now they're setting up on this bot tower. And they want to fight. They have Rock up in 10 seconds. They've got Death Prophet ulti available. Double Dimension can't defend this. They need to realize that. Oh, okay, Razor's just...
They want to defend it.
Oh. Okay. Oh, maybe they can defend this, actually.
Actually, somebody TP'd out. Yeah, that's Terrorblade by himself all of a sudden, and he goes down. Well, they used a lot, but it does get the kill on Terrorblade, so... They can't.
I thought they couldn't defend this, but they just weren't willing to... I thought they would just go in with the Rock and the Death Prophet ulti, but... Okay, there was a 4k gold lead, now there's a 1k gold lead. So... Oh, that's not going well.
Jarex pops the Magnetize, he missed the initial barrel roll, but Omni Knight gets caught. The silence preventing him from healing himself up initially. And he just gets so far behind that he cannot recover. So the Exorcism use, gonna push the tower with it off to the side. S4, he still wants to make some plays, damn it. Gonna get glimpsed back, but Excalibur taking plenty of damage. Jarex, maybe a Boulder Smash? No, he gets done with the Burrow Strike. And Milan will keep his teammate alive. Push forward on a Mad, though. Out comes the Silence on top of the Crypt Storm and the Siphon. And Sanking could not get away as a result. So good chase there from OG. And now they're going to go back to that tier 1 tower. So maybe that was a plan. Let No-Tail die, make them feel confident, and then eventually.
Oh, are they going to rock this? Do they need to rock him here? Maybe.
No, the Eel stopped it. Oh, but to actually kill him, you're saying. That's true. He is pretty tanky, isn't he?
Very, very fast as well with the phase boots, so he's out of there. S4's going to claim the bottom tower, and Jarex is going to push in the mid. Death Prophet sitting on top of the net worth. Clockwork also saying it's 6k, man. S4's just really farmed. He's got his 4 stuff ready. He's just doing what he needs to be doing in these fights. Terrorblade did have a misadventure in bot lane, but yeah, he's sitting even with the Razor again.
What does a farmed Clockwork buy? You mentioned the 4 staff, but can he get something that's like, I'm basically been top net worth or just about this game, I'm going to take advantage by buying this?
The thing that comes to mind is like Aghanims, and there's also like Blade Mail and things like that. Maybe just... I would say probably Blade Mail to Aghanims, that kind of stuff. And then the Razor is also... Razor is one of those heroes that deals damage that he can't control because of his ulti, because of his passive as well. Also his Q, you can Blade Mail that damage and do quite a lot. So I'd say Blade Mail is a pretty safe choice. But you might want to go for something to tank him up a bit more. Blade Mail does that too. I'm just a fan of Blade Mail, to be honest.
Disruptor, this is obviously an Invis rune. I thought of smoke for a second. I was like, wait a second. Invis rune. He's checking it out. He's going to be scanned, actually. They know he's in the area. The sentry's put down. They just saw him for a split second, I think. They don't see him now because it's too far away. Glimpse back on a Mad, by the way, as he TP's in, so he's not going to be here. But the rest are, however, this is a fight. Double Dimension, they do not want to give up a kill. J4, he's going to survive. The Guardian Angel coming out. And without Death Prophet, this is an advantage right now for Double Dimension, or is it? Metamorphosis activated from No-Tail, running back in. Chaotic Offering is still had. Ready to be used. Out comes the Epicenter. Chaotic Offering finally rains from the skies. No-Tail's in trouble. He still has a Sunder. Can he get it off in time? He's dying and he wants to find the target. He finds Fly, actually, his teammate. He heals on up to full, gets the kill on a Razor, and he's going to finish off Omni Knight, so that looks sketchy for a second, but No-Tail survives. Jarex will barely live as well. Triple kill for the Terrorblade, and they win the fight big time, even without the Death Prophet.
Yeah, without the Death Prophet as well, it's just... Spells go... Okay, No-Tail, yes, you have the Terrorblade. Okay, come on. He's just dropping them all at this point.
I mean, that's so appropriate for him.
Yeah, that was that little moment where it's like, oh god, everyone's just like a quarter HP, a third HP, and no, I can't sunder him, I can't sunder him. Okay, Fly, you're over there, I'll just take you then.
Yeah.
And the Fly's just sitting there, it's like, oh, come on, man.
Teammate or enemy, he doesn't care, he's looking for a full life bar.
Yeah, he just wants that HP somehow. So yeah, No Tail, he's got his Dragon Lance now and 1k gold, working towards that Skadi apparently. He's not going to stop off with the Manta style. Death Prophet's got the Blink, and he also able to use that ulti to full effectiveness. Jerax, he's not really that far in this game, but he can live with that. S4 turned out to go for the drum, actually. Not something I would have expected, but having a drum is always nice. Got the extra movement speed to catch up with people, and the HP as well.
So we really haven't touched on this too much yet, but Ditty sure enough, he is going the bear build. He does have a Sacred Relic. The Radiance is almost finished on too long.
Yeah. I'm surprised by that, but I guess the bear build is safer, and also you don't have to worry about the reflection, because, yeah, going the... I guess the range does help, but he can still reflect you anyway, and doing the right-click damage build kind of makes you kill yourself, so... The Radiance will be very important for these fights. I just thought because he was going for the Aquila phase boots that he would be going for the hero build, but no, he opts to go for the pen. Just looking at Excalibur, you know, he died once and he went from even with the Terrorblade to 1.4k gold behind, and he's working towards his BKB, but it's still so far away.
He's felt somewhat underwhelming, honestly, yeah, and whether that's him or not, but the thing with the Lone Druid, of course, is the fact that you're fighting 4 versus 5 when fights do happen a lot of.
Yep.
That's something. Well, of course, but OG, Jerax, he'll TP away. No, he will not. The Blink catches him as well as the Glimpse back, and now Jerax, he's definitely in no man's land. He got the ward down at least, so mission accomplished there. But you gotta wonder if they know something's up, and they do. The sentry's put down, but they don't have vision. There you go.
And the ward is gone. That's got to feel bad for Jerax. So now Double Dimension know that the enemy vision is kind of low in their own woods, so they'll probably realize that they can go for some smoke movement. And they do have the Blink on Sanking, they do have the Smoke on Disrupting, he'll just get some mana, and they'll probably go smoke from their tier 2, probably? Because I think they do need to go for something right now. But they don't have any vision on where OG actually are, apart from that bear, so might be a bit risky.
Which, by the way, is probably dead here. Scouting out with the bear, and the Savage Roar going to help a little bit. Upheaval, he gets out of range of the slow, but too much damage, and that's 300 plus gold for Death Prophet.
Death Prophet profiting.
He's got his BKBs working on. Finished. Freedom.
Oh, J4, get out of there.
Terrorblade, yeah, J4, it's not gonna happen.
Have you ever just been a disruptor, just farming in the lane, and then a Death Prophet and a Terrorblade just come out of the woods? And just that's gotta feel horrible.
Scary. The top or bottom tier 2, excuse me, being pushed. Top tier 2 is also being put.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a tower
just
shot.
Finished. Probably will end up being a trade here. I don't see OG TPing back at least just yet. They're still going, in fact. They got the Metamorphosis and Exorcism.
And the Rock, don't forget that too. So they are just ready. They want to use the last bit of this Metamorphosis to get some good damage on this tier 3, but I don't think they'll commit too hard. And they will just walk away.
Yeah, I thought with the Exorcism they were going to go pretty crazy right there, but they played safe. Rush the issue right now. Although they're not really falling back.
Yeah, they're just hovering around here looking for something, looking for anything really. Anyone from Double Dimension just decides to take a trip into the woods today. I could say they'll be in for a big surprise, but that would be tacky.
Well, you did. Jerax, he's just gonna do the whole TP strat in front of everyone as they spot him at the last second, but he gets down. That was a very close call, actually. OG, they're just taking over the jungle now. You see that Roshan's being pinged out, actually.
Yeah, I think they just got the BKB on the Razor, which is inspiring to go for some heavy plays here. So getting this Roshan immediately scouted up AS4 with the rocket. Nice play there. And here's the Arcane Rune as well, so might be tempted to go for some shenanigans here. They smoke up. But while they do this, they're going to just take the fight in Roshan, and they're just going to go for the base with Death Prophet.
Yep. No Metamorphosis, but they got the Exorcism. So yeah, it's decision time for Double Dimension now. How much do they send back? In fact, it's going to be everyone. They just give up on the Roshan, and just like that, Matt's running away, but no, he's going to be glimpsed back in once again. No, the
Oh, he blinks out.
as it gets glimpsed. So well played by Matt right there. And he's even turning around on Excalibur. He wants to kill him. Excalibur realizing all of a sudden that he's dying, and the auto attack will finish the job. And now actually Sand King's in trouble, running into the Exorcism. The silence on top of that. A lot of damage. Milan will survive though. He's got a Burrow Strike to use right here. But meanwhile, his teammates of OG are killing Disruptor in the middle lane. What a play from Matt. He's actually going to join the party as Noto gets credit for the kill. But from the getaway initially to then turning on a Razor like he did, and now setting up all of this with Metamorphosis ready to go in 1 second. They're pushing bottom.
Yeah, Metamorphosis just comes up, and here we go. The Rax is dead. The thing is, there's Excalibur's like, okay, guys, we caught the Death Prophet. We've got him. And then it's just like, guys, where is everyone?
Yeah.
Help, please.
I do kind of feel for him there. That was an awkward moment because, yeah, exactly. No one was nearby. They were literally, I guess they were fighting middle lane because there was some distraction there, but clearly on different pages. So easy melee Rax kill, and OG lead continues to be very comfortable. 1,000 now.
Thor's going for the Shiva's Guard. He'll have it in a bit. Death Prophet's finished the BKB. Terrorblades, yeah, he's finished the Skadi now if he wants it.
I could just casually say that. Clockwork gonna finish his Shivas. 4 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, he's sitting above every single member of Double Dimension on the net worth graph. Though Tail's still deciding if he'll spit his Skadi in. Yeah, he's put it in his inventory now.
Oh,
well, that's a glimpse.
That's not the best glimpse ever.
What is happening here?
Hey, they're desperate. It's happening. They're trying to find a kill. Fly just force taps over the ledge. He has Chaotic. Oh, the Pearl Strike misses. Oh no. Is this a turn? No, they're not going to go for a play there. It just gets worse and worse. It feels GD. Trying so hard, but again, it is desperation, clearly. They're down by a bit right here. They understand that they need to make some big plays, and they're going to try to pick a fight here, but that's going to the back lines with the flank. Jax will throw out the motor smash. Out comes the Chaotic Offer, and they do kill Death Prophet, actually, and the Guardian Angel, No-Tail, he has to run. He's got a Sunder. He's going to get a good one off in time. He sunders his teammate once again and fly as Jax puts the Magnetize up, and they're looking to turn the Fatal Bonds. The spread damage is real. Holy crap, 3 heroes are dead, and Didier Ross also now trapped up by the cogs. He too is going to fall, and just like that, OG, a 5-for-1 turn. It looked for a second, Double Dimension might have had something there, and then they did not.
Yep, and now they're faced with the prospect of, we just lost a team fight to Terrorblade, and he didn't even use Metamorphosis, so now he's just going to hit the Roshan, walk up to the high ground with Aegis in tow, and I don't want to say that's the end of it, but it's going to get pretty close considering the fact that no one's even coming close to his net worth.
Well, Lord Gaben suggests this is a 98% to 2% favor of OG.
We can't go by the numbers. We can go by the general feeling of doom. And there is one. J4 is going to get caught out in the bot lane here by Jerax, and he'll tick down to that urn.
Just our Spirit pushing bottom by himself, while the rest of Roshan getting a solo kill. Yeah, no big deal. Got a Spirit Vessel on the way. Now, can he go? That was pretty. I mean, he makes it, every time I watch him play this here, he just makes it look so easy. And I kind of think to myself, like thousands of other people, like, you know, I'm going to play Earth Spirit. And it does not happen the same, let me tell you.
The only time I play Earth Spirit was when I'm playing Morphling and I use the ulti on him. Alright. No-Tail has the Metamorphosis. He's going to get feared away, so maybe Dityara can live. No, S1 will kill him. Milan's just sitting here, going, guys, just leave me alone, thanks.
Just camping out, don't mind me. He's gonna stun out and try to escape, but that's probably not gonna happen either. Buyback on Omni. We're in a bit of an overtime stage now, it feels like. Double Dimension just desperate for anything. They're down 1-0. This would be it. They might as well give it any bit of effort, but it's just not gonna be stopped. Pain Train is here to stay. OG gonna take out the middle racks. Bottom's already dead. Again, we're only 27 minutes in. Excalibur, he runs in with the BKB. Unfortunately, does not help against those physical auto attacks of Terrorblade. So he buys back. Lundred's not even up for 15 more seconds. And they're just going to call it. GG. OG is advancing on to the semifinals here, where they will match up against Penguin in the semifinals later on today. That's going to be a good one. And that's one where going into this, I think it's safe to say a lot of people would have expected to be our final matchup. Nope, they're going to meet in the semifinal.
Yeah, this should be good. Like, OG's early game did look a bit shaky, but then I think their draft kind of was a bit stronger in the mid to late game. Oh, I just say mid game because we didn't really get to late game, did we? So the Terrorblade, he recovered, and strong plays from Mad just... No, I feel like this Omni Knight really didn't do that much after the first 5 minutes.